Hey, welcome back, everybody, to another quick video. This is going to be kind of a simple natural remedy testimony. I have my friend Kim Baker here with me. Kim lives in Manassas, Virginia. Kim, you're okay with me recording this, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm going to share my screen because you have sent me some pictures. Let's see if I can find it here. All right. Kim's dog bite. Tell
Yeah.
everybody just briefly what happened. This was the 8th, right? This happened
It was Sunday, yeah, a week ago. So
a week ago.
I,
Oh, in fact,
pardon me?
a week ago today.
Yes.
Okay.
So I took the girls out. I have two shepherds and I use a Kong ball to exercise them in the backyard. And I had only thrown maybe two balls through. I think this was the third one. And she caught air like I have never seen her. She was up off the ground, I don't know, 6 feet, and I could tell at the height of her jump that something was wrong. And sure enough, she got the ball stuck in her throat. Um, so I went out into the yard, obviously. When she came down to the ground, she started, rolling and trying to evacuate, by herself. And I put my hands in her mouth to see if I could get it out. I went along the skin, but in the process, whatever, I got bit. Um, so yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, before we have everybody in suspense, did your dog survive?
She did survive. She did quit breathing at one point when she was in the ER, but it was only for a short period. She seems fine.
Okay. So you took her to the vet right away, and the vet was able to fish that thing out.
Yeah, they sedated her and extracted it with some kind of tool. So
Wow.
it was
Wow.
fortunate. I mean, it was back there. By the time we got to the vet, it was back there good.
How big was this ball?
It's the same size I've used on all my large animal dogs. I didn't ever think that it was too small, but it was a Kong ball. It had a hole in it, and
Okay.
it's about 2.5 inches to 3 inches, maybe. No, see, yeah, about 2.5 inches.
Okay. So it's a little smaller maybe than a tennis ball, something like that.
No, maybe. I
Okay.
don't know, maybe.
Yeah, we use a tennis ball playing with Charlie all the time. I've never never
Don't
thought.
use a tennis ball either. Apparently, that is problematic as well. What I went to is a large, oh golly, it must be a 3.5 ball, and she does great with that.
Okay,
But the
okay.
thing, the thing that saved her was the fact that this Kong ball had a hole in it.
Yeah, she was able to move some air through that a little bit.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but by the time that happened and you got her to the vet ER there, she would not have survived if she hadn't been able to get air.
no, she
That's
wouldn't.
traumatic, but you also were injured in this, and I want to go through and show some pictures, and you can kind of walk through this with us. This was actually in the vet. I believe you told me that this one you felt like went to the bone because that one really hurt. Is that correct?
It did hurt, but this was not the one that hurt the worst. But
Okay.
I thought I saw fatty tissue.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was a deep one, and it seemed like it went more like parallel. I mean, it was deep, but it was not across the fingers where it was like towards my nail.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
This one you can see some skin in the center there. Uh,
right,
the vet was trying to get you to go to the ER, which
correct,
had you gone to the ER, you probably would have been put on antibiotics and maybe had some shots and stuff like that. Um, but we talked about it a little bit. You expressed a desire to not have to go to the ER. And
correct.
I thought, okay, I'm going to support her. Let's go through and look at these other pictures. Is this the one that was so deep?
No,
Uh,
this one was pretty deep too. That
Okay,
one, this one was pretty deep as well, but that's my left hand,
okay, yes,
and the other finger was my right hand.
okay,
And I had puncture wounds underneath the fingers as well.
okay, yeah, yeah. So she chewed you up pretty good.
And
Just
quick. Didn't even notice.
well, in the height of something like that, you have adrenaline, and so you don't always notice. So what I told you to do, see, I've had I had a dog bite on my forearm by a blackmouth cur, which has a bite force probably of around, it's close to 300 pounds, I think.
Mm.
I remember when the dog bit me, it felt like a truck ran over my forearm, and
Oh, wow.
I actually felt something hit my bone.
No.
Her teeth, it was a very deep piercing wound, top and bottom. And
Mm.
and I was here in Alabama. My husband and I lived in North Dakota at the time. And it was almost time for me to head back home. And when I did, my mom didn't have a lot of remedies here. She had a little bit of charcoal, so I made some poultices and put on this. I was kind of casual with this.
Hmm.
But it was a day or two before I had to fly back to North Dakota, and I had a long layover in Minneapolis. I think I was there for like 6 or 7 hours waiting for my next flight. And my arm started hurting so bad. And I
Yeah.
took the poultice off that I had, and I saw the red streaks were
Oh, golly.
almost up to my armpit. And I thought, okay, I'm in trouble. And
Yeah.
when I got home, I started doing what you're doing here. And this is what I told you to do to your
Mm.
hands. Tell everybody what you're doing here. Is that mud?
Charcoal in extremely hot water. I put in the first day or two, I think I put in a half a cup into the hot water, and um, I didn't have a big supply, so days after that I was a little less liberal. But yeah,
Yeah.
hot and cold, I did it for probably 5 minutes, um, until the water temperature changed some.
Mhm.
And then I went into the cold for,
Okay.
till I felt comfortable and back into the hot.
Yes. Very good. How many exchanges did you do of that?
3 to 4,
How many times a day did you do your treatment?
4 and 5.
Very good. Very good. You were a very good patient, I have to say. You were right on it. You did exactly what I told you to do. And I'll tell you, it's amazing. This is day two right here. You can see a massive change in this. Of course, the black there is the charcoal.
Yeah.
And not you don't have that poor of hygiene. This is charcoal, people. So this is day two there on that other one.
Yeah, I think that's my right hand. No,
Yeah,
that's my left hand.
your left hand. Yeah.
The pointer finger on this hand was
Okay.
very painful. I thought I had at least a bone bruise because
Yeah.
it felt so bad, and it did for a couple days. But
Yeah.
it quickly, the pain was gone. So I thought, oh, it was germs,
Okay.
you
You
know.
know, I have to apologize because I just saw one of your texts where you said further, I think it was like day 4 or day 5, that you actually used a little bit of Neosporin because it was red. And that, I wish I had seen that because actually redness in a wound and tenderness and stuff is not necessarily indicative of infection. That's part of the normal healing process.
Oh,
With charcoal and with the boo-boo balm, the likelihood of infection setting in would have been very low. But I certainly don't fault you. I don't have any problem with using the Neosporin for a short time. But I think you only used it for one evening, wasn't it?
one night, yeah, because I went, whoa, because it was a change for me. I had gotten
Right.
the wound with the treatments looked good. And then it's like I took the bandages off one day and I went, oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
you know. So I was so confident that the boo-boo balm would do what it's supposed to do, that I
Yeah.
thought, well, I'll just put Neosporin on it. It won't close up on me.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. The herbs that are in the Boo Boo Balm are very powerful. You have yarrow, and the nickname of yarrow is soldier wort because
Oh,
in the battlefield, every soldier in the ancient armies would carry a little pouch on their side full of yarrow. And if they were wounded in the battlefield, they would just pack that wound full of yarrow because not only would it prevent infection, it actually stopped bleeding. Yarrow is actually powerful to stop bleeding. And
I
so,
understood the Civil War soldiers would look for it. I didn't know they carried it dried in a pouch.
yeah, yeah, it's powerful stuff.
Wow.
It's really amazing to see. This is day 3 right here. And if you remember, take a
With
peek.
a lot of swelling. I pushed it down to try to approximate the skin.
Mhm.
Um,
You,
I thought I was gonna have a lump.
yeah, you see this little skin tag here. I did not think that that was going to be in any way viable, but you can see here that you were able to save part of that, weren't you?
I think so. It you know how when you have a burn, the dead tissue kind of like sloughs and it's,
Right,
bacterial, So I
right.
took wet
Mm.
charcoal like paper towels and just very gently tried to evacuate some of that stuff.
Mhm.
And I don't know, at some point it's like it's gone. I've got this, big
Yeah.
scab, if you will, but I don't see that aspect of it. It's not like that little island is there anymore. I don't know.
It may just be that it was that whenever you first showed me that, I thought, okay, she's going to lose that. That's not viable skin. And
Right.
it whether you were able to save some of that flap, you can see right there, maybe a little bit, but it looks like the majority of it is gone. You can see how this one right here really looks painful. It's kind of puckered, looks like it was maybe deep. And that was my concern. That's why I had you do the charcoal soak and not just poultices. A lot of people, when they have an injury like this, they want to go straight for the poultice. That's really not the best thing, especially if you have a deep puncture wound or something like that. You need to get charcoal down in that wound. You want
Mm,
to heal from the inside. You want to get that charcoal in there to pull out the bacteria from
right.
out and not allow it to heal on the surface and leave that nasty pocket down in there. That's was what my concern was with you. And that's why I asked you to do those treatments several times a day.
Yeah. And I worked it too. I'd put it in the hot water and I'd bend my knuckles. I'd move this. Yes, exactly. I'd move the skin, trying to, do what you're saying, get it down in there.
Yeah, here's day 4. You can see a little, it is definitely swollen. You can see the swelling there and a little bit red, but this is actually normal
Uh,
as well, to have a little bit of redness like that. I would not at all call that infection, but I did, like I said, I don't fault you at all for putting a little bit. It's better safe than sorry. But then again, here is this is your right hand
yes.
on day 4.
That was a deep one too.
Yeah, yeah.
It got me good.
Amazing. Yeah, she did. And then this is day 5. I think you sent these to me yesterday.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, day 5. And then I think you sent me some from today. I believe this is today. Is that correct?
Yes, that's today. You can see the pointer finger, it's almost completely healed. At
Yeah,
least, you know, I
that's
could run my finger across it and it doesn't feel lumpy or anything.
and you
Doesn't
have
feel,
good mobility.
yeah,
Okay, good. Very good.
problem.
So,
This one, once I use my right hand to, take bottle tops off.
right.
And it didn't do it today, but even last night, it's like whatever has healed um moved, so it gave me some pain, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not concerned about them anymore.
What day did you start using the Boo Boo Balm?
Let's see.
I think that was
Two,
end of
two
day.
nights ago, maybe?
Yeah, it was the end of day 2 or 3, I think.
No, I don't think so. I didn't use it.
Was it here?
Maybe day 5 is when I started.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't remember. With something like this, it's better to do too much than not enough as
Right.
far as the hot and cold treatments. The hot is going to really open up the blood vessels and draw those white blood cells and get that trash out of that area. And then the cold is going to constrict those blood vessels. And then when you've got that charcoal in the hot water, that's really going to ramp up that treatment. You know,
Hmm. You
bacteria.
can see the edge of this wound is healing on the bottom.
Yes, yes. Yeah, you can see granulation tissue right here down along the edge.
Yeah,
Granulation tissue is healthy tissue that's moving in.
right.
Um, Anyway,
I
what
love hot and cold compresses. I've been doing them for years. I've
good.
done them on my grandchildren. I learned to do them in college, and I don't No, because I was in nursing school. It wasn't something they taught us. It was just a book I bought or something. And I've used it for bronchitis and pneumonia on people. And, but, I would not have done this had you not told me. It bled really freely because I didn't address it at the vet. We got in the car and left, and I'm just bleeding all over the place. It wasn't until I got home and we talked that I started doing stuff.
Yeah, when that dog bit me, I didn't even, I remember feeling the pressure, but I didn't realize that her teeth had penetrated my skin until I held my arm up and I saw the blood. And I ran to the sink and made it bleed and stuff because, I knew that it was a nasty bite and stuff. So anyway, it was just a really good experience. I embrace these things because this is how I have learned so much, of stuff happening to me or to my family members or whatever. And now I can share with my friends, and now you can share with your friends. So
Yeah.
I want you to just give a summary of this experience for yourself. But before you do, I want to say two things. Well, one thing really in two parts. You had the charcoal and you had the boo boo balm on hand.
Yes.
What would have happened if you hadn't had those on hand?
Like I said, I probably wouldn't even have thought to do the hot and cold. I Because they're deep wounds, right? I did when I was at home before I went to the vet, I did wash my hands several times, working the wound, getting the soap down in there. Typically, what we have done over the years, my family is carpenters and home improvement people, and if we get gouges and cuts, we douse it with lemon juice.
Okay.
It's like, so I probably would have done that. And I pulled it out, but I don't think I used it because, Greg had the car ready or something. So
Yeah.
I would have done that. And I do have essential oils, so I probably would have tried using oil of oregano and helichrysum. I don't know if I would do the helichrysum right away, but I probably would have done oil of oregano and then dressed it and, leave it as long as it didn't hurt.
Yeah.
Um, didn't ooze or anything. I probably would have left that in place. And
Yeah. The beauty that I have found with the charcoal hot and cold contrast is how much it helps with pain. It just took away my pain whenever my arm was really hurting and I would put it down in that hot charcoal water. It was just like, oh,
oh yeah, it's soothing.
it's
And I
great.
get it as hot as I can stand. They're so hot that I can't wash dishes. Okay, that's too hot. Back it off. And I typically can handle hot water like in a tub. I like it till it stings my butt, right? But I got it that hot, and then I would introduce a little bit of cold water just so I could, tolerate it. But
Okay.
yeah, it's
Very
calming.
all right. Well, Kimberly, I praise the Lord. I just
Yeah.
praise the Lord with you because this is it was a privilege for me to walk through this with you, and encourage you and to be encouraged by the aggressiveness. And that's a thing that I think a lot of people fail on with natural remedies. You have to be aggressive. You have
Oh,
to
I did do the elderberry and the garlic. Remember?
vitamin C, you took elderberry and you took garlic.
Yeah, every hour for
Yeah,
days. And
very good.
I'd smash the garlic, cut it up, swallow it with the elderberry every hour.
And that's your antibiotic, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was another thing I did.
I remember at one point we talked about how much vitamin C to take, and I said to
Oh,
bowel, and you said, I think I'm there.
yes, I did that too. I'm still taking that, but not as much. I was taking it with my elderberry, and then I, started getting into trouble. And I'm like, I
Very good.
thought the dose was to bowel tolerance per dose. So you can imagine how much
Yeah.
I was taking. So
But, well, all in all, even if there were a few boo-boos along the way, this is fantastic. Kim, you really did a great job. I thank the Lord for having this experience with you. And if you could just give one final statement to folks in regards to this, what would you say?
absolutely, it's a go-to now that I've, realized that I could do this. Um, but I also had the vitamin C because I had it from you. You had said at one point, use this particular product. I had the charcoal because I was listening to you. But
Praise the Lord.
yeah, you have to hit it hard and often, like you say. And I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm grateful.
I am too. Me too. So many times I talk to people about natural remedies and I get the deer in the headlights, or like, hey, that lady's got three heads.
Yes.
But to hear that somebody embraces it and runs with it and now in an emergency has it on hand and can be benefited by it. This is the testimony that I wanted to record and share with other people.
I
So
bought 2 pounds to have on hand.
very good, very good.
Yep.
Kim, thank you so much for being with me today. I appreciate you taking the time, and I'm going to go and do the chores now and get
Thank
this
you.
for everyone else to see. So thank you so much, Kim. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Yes, praise the Lord. All right.
Amen.